Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon down here at Sanford Springs Golf Club. The left-handed set has finally been complete. I've taken it out for a spin. We played 9 holes. I'll show you some of the shots in a minute because there's some really good golf in there and progress is definitely coming along. But I want to talk about 718 AP3 irons. I've got an absolute deal on these. To be fair, I got them from one of my pro shop suppliers that obviously have trade-ins, and I obviously give them a better price than they would get anywhere else. So I've got a set of 718 AP3s in the bag, 5 to pitching wedge. I'll quickly show you the rest of the bag for some of you guys that might not know. Basically, I'm trying to break 80 at least once by February, and today's probably the first day that actually might be achievable. Let me show you the bag and let's go and play some holes. So boys and girls, here is the bag. You might notice a new bag here. I got this for £30. A lot of you asked me about golf bags. Realistically, if you're carrying, you want a stand bag. If you've got a trolley, you want a cart bag. The more pockets, the heavier it's always going to be because you just fill it with a load of rubbish. But all I wanted was just a lightweight bag, and that's what I've got. So Callaway stand bag to obviously put the left-handed set into, so I don't have to keep taking clubs in and out. We've got a tailor-made M4 driver at the top of the bag. You can see quite a lot of Titleist head covers going on as well, and I'll talk about Titleist as a brand when it comes to second-hand. So I've got an M4. That cost me £80 for the head at an old shaft, so about £120 altogether for the driver. I've got a 913 and a 910 at Titleist Woods. Both of those together cost me about £80. They both got stiff shafts in it. They've got this like black diamana. Obviously these are all left-handed, by the way. I've got a I've got a Mizuno Jpx 850 hybrid. This is my absolute favorite at the moment. This just gets me out of so much trouble and is actually really good off the tee as well, especially when the ground is quite firm at the moment. Again, stiff flex in that, and then what you've been waiting for, the 718 AP3 irons. These things cost an absolute bomb when they first came out, and I didn't necessarily go after these, but I'll tell you why I like them and why I like them in the bag. For me at the moment, for my game, because I know you guys, I talk a lot about blades when you start the game, and I'm telling you now why I've made the transition into these to hopefully break 80. 56-52 Ram Pro Spin wedges. I got those for like 30 quid for the pair, well 40 quid for 3, but I haven't got the 60 degree in the bag. And then I've got a Ping Cadence putter at the bottom. Overall, guys, I think the bag probably cost me, I mean everything, okay, take my laser away, that's obviously, I'm not buying 2 lasers. I think overall the whole bag has now cost me about £600, and that is premium. Like, I've got name brands, everything. Some of the stuff's only 2-3 years old. The condition of everything is pretty good as well. So if I was to be a beginner again, this is pretty much what I'd have in the bag. Okay, so before I talk about my golf on the golf course with these irons, because I'm a really big fan of them, let's talk about the 718 AP3. If you don't know what it is very strong lofted, it is very forgiving, it is very powerful. Basically, you go AP2, AP1, AP3 in terms of length, power, maybe not forgiveness. I think the AP1's slightly bigger and chunkier, more offset, but this is basically the biggest, heaviest muscle back, cavity back, forgiving iron Titleist has brought out over the recent years, and you are always going to get distance because they are so de-lofted from traditional irons. Another reason why these are in the bag is because they're in my stock. So obviously I've bought this off a pro shop, and before I was going to sell them on, I thought, well, actually it makes sense to obviously go and hit them. I got on well with them on the range, and then I thought, well, rather than go and find another set, because I wasn't heart set on 718 AP3, I could have gone Callaway Apex, I could have gone TaylorMade M1, I could have spent £150 rather than £270. So it's not like I went, oh, I need that particular club, but this ticks a lot of boxes, i.e. high MOI. It's de-lofted, so I'm going to get a lot more distance, and it's going to be high launching because the weight's at the back of the head. Stiff flex shaft, steel. So let's see how they did on the golf course, because there was some good shots, there's also some bad shots, but these didn't necessarily make me hit any better shots. Like, if I hit a good shot with my old blades that you saw, and that cost me 50 quid for this set, I would say the good shot was as good as this. However, these provided a level of dispersion and forgiveness that just kind of helped my bad shots. The bad shots were killing me before I had these in the bag. Now the bad shots are a lot better. And also they were going further, but let's be honest, even though that says 7 on the bottom there, you might as well put 6 on there compared to the old set. But as long as you know that, as long as you're not getting tricked into getting club fitted for a very strong lofted iron, it doesn't really matter. This is providing the shot that I need it to. It's now going 160 yards, which is really good. And yardage is very important in this game. There's no point hitting a great shot and then flying the green by 40 yards, which I'll show you now over the 4th hole at the Woods course, as I had 107 yards to the flag. I had a pitching wedge in my hand, which with the old set would have been the perfect club. And then even though, okay, I pulled it and probably caught it a bit thin, I probably went 135 to 140 yards out the back. Again, that is something I'm going to get used to. I'm not expecting to hit my new pitching wedge 135, 140. If anything, that probably shows the downsides of having a big muscle back iron, that when you do catch them a bit thin or you do pull them, they go a long way. And that's why a lot of pros tend to have more blade, forged heads. If you're hitting out of the rough, if you're hitting downhill, uphill, they all go relatively the same distance. But for me, I'm not necessarily going to always have that problem. My biggest problem is not catching as well. Catching out the toe, catching in the heel, and all of those shots getting somewhere up to the green. Very rarely do I think I'm going to be flying up the back. So I'm happy to have that forgiveness. Moving on to the par 3, I had 148 yards into the green and I pulled 8 iron, and it was the club. Again, I pulled it a bit left. I think you'll see a common trend throughout this video. No, these irons won't fix your swing path. If you still slice the ball, you're still gonna slice it. And as you can see, I'm still coming across it because I hit quite a lot of pull shots throughout this video, but I hit them quite confidently and I hit them quite well. So I was able to use a relatively good short game to get me out a bit of trouble, just like you will see this unreal chip in for my first birdie as a left-handed player. I'll just let that soak in. Moving on to the next hole, we were using my 5 wood, which again, I love. Titleist, overall 910, 913, 714, 712. You go back 5 years ago, Titleist have got some unbelievable irons. Obviously Titleist aren't selling them, but eBay, Facebook, wherever, for great prices. Like 718, these are only 2 years old. Again, £150 for one club back then, and now I'm getting them pretty much next to nothing. TaylorMade and Titleist, for whatever reasons, it's the companies that begin with T, just lose their value in the second-hand market. Ping holds its value very well, Mizuno holds its value very well. I don't know why these and TaylorMade don't. Maybe because they all look the same, maybe because they're all similar, or maybe it might be proof in the pudding, and how good is that club when all the marketing and everything else subsides. But for me, I played Titleist before. The 910, 913 woods are just as good, and they go just as far as long as you get a decent strike on them, and you could probably say that for every golf club out in the market. So now I've got the new irons in the bag, it's starting to flag up other areas of my game that's letting me down to break 80. My short game isn't really good enough. I know I've got the lucky chip in, but my putting, now I've got that new forgiving high MOI ping cadence putter in the bag. Actually, it's highlighting a lot of areas. When you're starting duffing and thinning and chipping and topping and shanking, you don't worry about the putting. Putting's the last thing, but I know that will come back and bite me if I get close. I need to start putting practice. I need to start holding 6-footers. I need to start lag putting from 30 foot because I've done it on the right-handed side of the game. I need to be able to do it on the left-handed side of the game. So ping, cadence putter is very good. However, technique is key. And now I've got these new irons, it's kind of highlighting those areas. As I say, hybrid off the I think there's the 7th, again down the middle, bit scabby, bit out the toe, but it went 200 yards and it left me this lovely 158 I think yardage into the green, and I rifled a 7-iron at the flag. It never left it. It was one of the best shots I've hit so far on the golf course. And again, I'm talking about confidence. These are confidence boosters. No, they're not going to help my ball striking ability. Yes, I'm going to lose some feel. No, I'm not going to be able to shot shape. No, I probably won't be able to hit punchy low ones under the wind. However, if I just want to slap it round, these are going to make the slapping a lot easier. So down the last couple of holes, I didn't really use these irons at all. However, I did use my hybrid, I did use my wedges, and hopefully now, guys, you're starting to see a level of progress with my ball striking, the distance, the consistency. As I say, bad shots, we're not necessarily getting those duff shots or those slices or those tops. Yes, I'm pulling everything, but that's more of a swing path issue. These things are going to take time. The thing that I'm loving now is that I haven't got 2 bad shots. I've kind of just got one, which is out to the right hand side. Golf's a very difficult game when you've got 2 bad shots left and right, because you can't commit to anything. Overall, very happy with these irons. I think they're a good purchase, and as I said at the start of the video, Titleist is a good brand if you want something classic, clean looking, and at a relatively good price for what you're getting for your money. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Leave it a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.